Hello, I hope you're well. You're watching Dragons, Dogma, ARISEN, and today is farming day for Daimon, which is the final boss in this game. So this is a quick run through sort of guide on how to do the farming most effectively anyway. And it shouldn't take very long at all, providing that you are a ranger and have blast arrows, and Conqueror's Periapps makes a big difference. So what we're going to do, I know that lots of people like to pick up their pawn right outside the sanctum where Daimon is, but I kind of need mules to carry my stuff, and blast arrows are kind of heavy. So if you want to sit there all day and fight Daimon without all the blast arrows, then good luck, but I'm not going to do that. So I've been here before, and I haven't rested since, so that's why all of these aqua urns are still lit. And the secret I find to doing this particular run is, just don't mind the living arm there, is to just do a smash and grab. Don't worry about any of the enemies on the way at all. Don't even sort of stop to look at them. If your pawns do get caught up fighting, and that's why a lot of people don't bother picking up pawns at the start, then you can sort of turn around and get dragged behind. But the fact is that as soon as you get to the next dungeon door, if your pawns are still alive, they're going to sort of teleport straight to where you are anyway, so it's totally irrelevant if you bring them or not. But for this particular part of it, you don't really need the extra pawns to carry anything, because we've got Barrack coming up in a minute. So all you really need for this particular part of the run is to make sure you just got a little bit of stamina, and that's about it for this particular part anyway. So it's pretty much just a simple Simon. Get through this door, and obviously the pawns are going to sort of teleport to where I am. And lots of people sort of, with their farming, sort of just run out in the middle of anywhere, and it's just time consuming because you're running into enemies. So this is the Bloodless Stockade, this is where Barrack is, and this is where we're going to pick up our stuff. And yes, it will slow us down, but when you see how quickly we can kill Daimon with this way, then I don't think you'll mind too much. So here we go, we're going to see Barrack. We're going to get some blast arrows from him that are in the bank, so we're going to withdraw. I've got a whole bunch of stuff here. So we get the blast arrows, which I don't actually have any left, do I? I think I've used them all up. I should use them all up. Okay, that's fine. And also the Conqueror's Periapps, which we've got enough of those. I might just get 4 more for myself. So that's basically the shopping list, is the Conqueror's Periapps. I would say probably just get about 8 of them, or 16 if you're a ranger. Blast arrows, and if you're not an infinity pawn by now, if you're earlier levels, definitely get some Pilgrim's Charms, which double your experience. And also a very handy thing to have in this particular part is one of the rings from the Duskmoon Tower, and I'll show you that now, which is the Ring of Desiccation. And as you can see, it is waterproof, so when you carry your lantern around and you fall in the water, it doesn't get put out. And it's especially with the Elite Lantern, which I have, the area of light is amazing, and definitely makes a huge difference instead of running around in the dark. So right now I'm looking at blast arrows, 177 epic treasures got. I've got definitely enough just to last, I would say. So you get those from one of the vendors in Grand Seren, and put them straight into your bank. And so every time you need some arrows, go to Barrack and get them out of your bank. So that's about it. So we've got our Ring of Desiccation, we have our blast arrows, we have our Conqueror's Periapps. If you're a lower level, remember to get your Pilgrim's Charms, and obviously some stamina stuff there. So you can either use your mushrooms, or you can use your husped sauce, whatever floats your boat. And this is where our Ring of Desiccation and our lantern are going to make all the difference in the world. So remember, just ignore everything here. Now, since I've been on this run before, like without resting, because I'm farming Daimon right now, see, I'm going to jump straight down in the water, splat, splat in the water. Well, anyway, if I actually landed in the water, then it would put my lantern out and then it would have lit up again, so it's all good. Okay, so as you can see here, this is all lit. Usually if you don't have a lantern on, it's just pitch black. There's actually chest up there. Never anything exciting, I find, anyway, but obviously I've already been there. Okay, so if you don't have all the stuff lit up, just watch your mini-map. You're going around this sort of bend here, ignore him, and up here, and then there's this sort of little L-shaped bend. We want to jump up there, around here. So light all these little urn things too. They help guide. And then straight up here, and this is going to take us into the dragon area where there's double dragons. And this is a mistake that a lot of people make when they're farming, is that they run all the way down the stairs through the dragons, which is probably the most ridiculous thing to do, because often there's an ice dragon there that blasts spires of ice up and electrocutes you and all sorts of stuff. So there's a much better way to do that. I'm just going to fill up my stamina here, and we want to just jump up on this ledge over here. And again here, and we want to drop hard into this tree right here, and then you'll bounce and slide down through the tree and totally ignore the drakes and straight to the door. Perfect. So we've saved ourselves a lot of time by darting in and out, which I know a lot of farming videos have, which is a total waste. And indeed, you'll probably use a lot of stamina potions and things like that while you're mucking around. So this is another one. A lot of people run through the city. There's no need to run through the city. You can run straight onto the rooftops. Makes a big difference. Just drop down on these ones, otherwise you're going to splat across them. You don't need a double jump for a lot of this stuff. If you do double jump, you're going to find that you're going to splat on the ground. The drakes here, the wyverns, sorry, put like the red ring of death around you. So avoid that, and just keep landing on these little eaves. Up here we've got the 3 eliminators, and sometimes you'll find that the living arm will be there. Just dodge around them like that. And if it's the living armor, just sort of, like I did then, sort of err on the left side. And then as they swing, sort of hook around to the right, around their swords. Actually, you can run straight through their swords. So we're in a bit of Black Sanctum now. This is Daimon's room. So we're going to fill up on our stamina right now. And also, we want to pop some of these Conqueror's Periaps, 4 of those, because they stack by 4, 2, 3, 4. We want to get the blast arrows going now. Use that. And then we're going to grab the blast arrows from the other characters holding it, being the mules. This is a time that you want to put your Pilgrim's Charms on. If you're a maxed out character, then you can still use this, and you'll get extra big bags of gold when you kill him. So up we go. Now for the first phase, if you're a ranger, blast arrows, 4 Conqueror's Periaps, you're going to bring him down in 5 shots, his first form. About 5 shots, and then in the second form, like probably about 9 shots, 8 or 9. So we'll skip all this stuff, you've seen it before. Here we go, blast arrows on now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more for good measure, 6 this time. You've got to be careful sometimes because he does often fall behind those pillars, and you've got to sort of move left and right, and the thing that you want to do with him is keep him staggered all the time. If you don't, then he starts doing that vortex thing. It sucks all your pawns up and kills him, but you can interrupt him, and you can do that via your blast arrows, or you can do that by scaling him and interrupting him that way. So let's just skip that bit. Let's make sure that we've got all our arrows that we've got available here. There's 40 over here which we can pick up. Give to my character, and Cinder doesn't have any others. Epic Treasure does. The sleeper arrows, and make sure we've got some stamina on board. So we might have to do a little bit of extra work because I think we might be 1 10-fold flurry too short, but we'll see. 1. Remember to hit it in his chest, on the face, on his chest. And we're good to go. And he's down. And that's as quick as it is to farm him anyway, doing it this way. If you're going to play a different vocation, it makes it a lot more difficult. such as magic arch, especially mage or sorcerer. But when you get a decent pawn in your group, they'll basically do all the work. So it's really how you stack your group there. We'll skip through all that. We don't really need that XP, but thanks. We'll take it anyway. Pick up this stuff.
There's no way we could have lost to that.
And that's about... Oh, we got one more thing. So if we had to use the Pilgrim's Charm, then there would have been bags of gold all over there too. And in this room we have our treasure chest. So what we're going to do now is stop and we're going to save the game. So we'll have a look. This is usually the armor chest, but it doesn't have it this time. We'll see. Weapon, Moonbeam Gem. I didn't ask you to open my chest. Right, I hate all that stuff, so what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to use the God's Bane, hold it, stab myself. Don't mind me. And what's going to happen now is it's going to give me an option. If I have a wake stone, it'll say, would you like to use this wake stone or retry? Do not ever use the wake stone, retry. And it's going to dump me, obviously, back into my last save point, into the room with a chest close again. So we're hoping this has the armor 3. There we go. So you can manipulate the chest. And this is going to be a stupid novelty item. Roof crystal. Not that we need that. So that's it. Make sure you go up the stairs when you exit. Don't lift stone out of there. You want to go straight up the stairs. And then come back onto the ledge to the starting area, a bit of Black Isle. And hopefully that helped for your farming ways. So not many shots to kill him, provided that you have my shopping list, which is obviously being a ranger, blast arrows, plus conquerors, parry ups, and being careful around those ledges actually getting to Daimon, because running out the middle of places is just not very effective. Anyway, so that's it. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you next time. Thank you for watching.
We had best face